Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to night number 40 of the Overnight Feed recaps for Big Brother Season 26. All right, a crazy night in the Big Brother house, a lot of conversation, so we're going to try to get through this incredibly fast to make sure I just don't sit here and talk forever. All right, we had the veto ceremony yesterday. We missed it on the feeds, of course, but Cam used a veto on himself, put T-Core, and then T-Core put up Angela. Pretty cut and dried, right? I mean, obviously Cam uses it on himself. It was between Leah and Angela. T-Core not really feeling like Angela was part of the group. So, of course, you put Angela up as a potential option, right? Cut and dried. Yeah, not so much. It was a crazy day because of Angela trying to flip on Tucker the day before. She told Quinn and Leah and Mackenzie in the pedal room that they needed to go after Tucker. Well, of course, word got back to Tucker. They had a big discussion about it yesterday morning. So we'll talk a little bit about things that happened before the feeds, before the veto ceremony, a lot that happened afterwards. But again, we had the ceremony took place and Angela is now on the block. All right, before the ceremony, Tucker and Angela did indeed have it out with her admitting everything that had happened. She eventually Tucker was pushing, hey, why'd you do this and all that? Eventually, she says, well, Mackenzie proposed the idea to me, said we needed to go after you, and so I did it. Mackenzie later tells Tucker, says, no, I didn't do that. What I said was that you were a strong competitor. I never said that we needed to form an alliance and go after you. She's just adding that on, Tucker. So Mackenzie doing a little damage control herself. But yeah, later Angela says, I feel bad that I kind of threw Mackenzie under the bus, but Tucker just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. But yeah, she's told Tucker what happened and kind of what the origination was behind it as well. So with Angela being put up on the block this Thursday on the block, we're going to have Tucker and Mackenzie and Angela, all three on the block. Depending on how AIBB Arena goes and who's on the block, I don't know who's going home right now. There's a lot of different ways this thing could go. We'll have to watch over the next couple of days. It does seem like Angela called out Tucker either during the veto ceremony or right before the ceremony, saying that she was maybe promised jury in week number 1, and then she got brought into an alliance and found out that she was on the very bottom and things like that. Tucker's not happy that she's kind of calling him out a little bit. She also called out Quinn a lot, saying he was narcissistic, he was the devil, he couldn't be trusted. She's upset with him because she feels like Quinn's the one that spilled the beans to Tucker about Angela's plans, about her wanting to get Tucker out of the house. So she's very upset with Quinn. So she called him out, but she also did call Tucker out. Tucker's not happy. Tucker's saying, look, nice guys, he says this a little bit later, says, nice guys finished last. Angela's going to see how much I did for her to keep her when she watches the show back. Tucker very much talking as though he's going home on Thursday. He's just had it. He says at one point, he says, I'm playing with a bunch of JV players here. I'm the varsity. I came in to break that curse of the first person in the house. I've been taking risks. I've been playing hard. No one else wants to do it. I'm just through with the whole thing. He's saying 3 days of swimming. I think he's talking to Rubina at this point, maybe Chemo, but I think Rubina saying 3 days of swimming, answering trivia questions because he still has some punishment going on. 3 days of swimming, trivia questions, and then I'm done. I'm out of here. He told Rubina that he may throw the AIBB Arena competition this Thursday so that he can go home before jury. He does not want to sit in a jury house for the next couple of months. So he's just going to throw the competition. He can be out of here, go back to his dog, and be done with it. He's also talking to Rubina, saying that he's very upset that he just asked T-Core for this one little favor. With everything that went down, Tucker was still pushing to get Leah on the block and not Angela. I think Tucker feels like he could control Angela. He can get her settled down and maintain some grasp over her, whereas he doesn't think he can do that with Leah. So he's upset with not just Angela, but also T-Core for not making the decision to put Leah on the block. It was her HOH, not yours, Tucker. She's allowed to make that decision. But Tucker not really thinking that way, thinking it was just one small favor, just your HOH renom. That's all I wanted you to do, T-Core, was put Leah up. Well, it did not happen. All right. Soon after, we've got Chemo trying to console Tucker downstairs in the rock bedroom, while Rubina trying to console T-Core upstairs in the HOH room. T-Core just having a meltdown, crying under the blankets, not happy at all. And again, Tucker just feeling like his game's over. He's ready to be done. He's tired of messing with all of this stuff. All right, eventually we've got Angela talking to Rubina in the bathroom. It was very funny. Tucker and Rubina, I can't remember, Joseph, Quinn, few people in this bedroom, in the bathroom. Angela comes in. Suddenly people just start scurrying, trying to get away. Now, I will say this. Tucker came up, gave Angela a hug, said, look, or I think Angela came up to Tucker, gave him a hug, and they both said, we still love each other. It's just the game. So hopefully they caught their breath a little bit. Doesn't mean they're over it. We'll have some more discussions, but they did give each other a little hug. Eventually, everyone scurries out of the bathroom, except for Rubina, who's doing her hair, and I'm sure she's feeling very trapped and very much wishing she was anywhere except in this bathroom with Angela. But Angela's telling Rubina that she knows that she was bottom of the 6th Avenue. Rubina says, well, yeah, but you're still in an alliance. Even if you were at the bottom, you were still in an alliance. You don't have anything else, do you? Well, later Angela says, she confirmed to me that I was at the bottom. I don't think anyone ever questioned that. In fact, I think when Angela begged to join this alliance, she said, I don't care if I'm at the very bottom. That's fine with me. I just want to be part of the group. Well, things change after a few days and after you're actually in with the group itself. But she mentions that. She also is telling Rubina, saying, look, I know Tucker's promising me final 2 and all that, but how can I think he's actually going to be truthful to me when the 2 of y'all are here together? There's no way he's going to make me final 2 over you. I know better than that, Rubina. And Rubina's not denying it. She's saying, yeah, you were in an alliance, Angela. So they've got that. Now, Angela's, after Rubina finally gets the chance to leave, Angela talking to herself, talking to the mirror, talking to the camera, saying, yeah, I still have cards to play, and maybe they're just scared about me blowing up their alliance. I feel like a lot of stuff's already blown up Angela, but she's still plotting ways that she can blow the house up a little bit more and maybe get some of the attention off of her. All right, we've got Cam and Chemo talking. Chemo is saying that Tucker is feeling very betrayed at this point in time, especially after Tucker used the veto on Angela and kept himself on the block instead. So Chemo's telling Cam, saying, yeah, Tucker's just not in a good spot right now. Later, Cam is talking to Tucker and says, look, just take a moment, catch your breath. Don't make any emotional decisions right now. Just chill for a little bit, dude, and then you can decide later. Valid advice, absolutely valid advice that Cam's giving Tucker there. All right, Joseph is out of solitary. I think he came out of solitary right before the veto meeting. He's talking to Quinn. Of course, Joseph brings up Dan's funeral. Dan Gheesling, season 14, had a funeral, major Big Brother moment. It was after he'd been in solitary for 24 hours. So now Joseph's in solitary for 24 hours saying, hey, Quinn, did you talk about my funeral? Well, Joseph, we had more important things going on here for the last 24 hours. We kind of had a little train wreck that you may not have been aware of. So they talk about that a little bit. They're talking about Leah. Quinn is saying, look, just to let you know, Joseph, Leah's been throwing you under the bus a little bit. She keeps calling you a Division I athlete and talking about your capabilities and all of that. And he's saying, but here's the thing. She's kind of been doing that to all of us. She's been throwing all of us guys under the bus a little bit. So I guess Leah, trying to protect her position, knowing that she was an easy pick to go on the block, trying to talk to some of the ladies and maybe encourage them to stick with her and don't stick with the guys and all of that. So yeah, Quinn saying she's kind of been going after all of us a little bit. They're talking about Tucker a little bit, saying, yeah, no one trusts, neither of us trust Tucker right now. Just with what's happened, we just can't trust him at this moment in time. All right, we've got Chelsea and Tucker talking to each other. Tucker is saying that he's saying, look, Angela could have headed home next week. She's not going to the end. She could have gone home next week. Leah is a much bigger target in this house. She's probably in charge of everything on the other side that's been happening. In other words, why would T-Core put Angela up now? She could have gotten her later. At one point, Tucker even says, look, I was going to put up Angela. If I'd won HOH, Angela would have gone up next week. I would have been the person to send her home. I don't believe that for a second, but he's saying that. In other words, you could have just gotten rid of Leah and protected Angela this week, and then we would have dealt with it later. Well, that's not what T-Core wanted to do. All right, we got Tucker and Rubina and Quinn talking. Tucker's still complaining about Angela, that he's had her back all of this time, that he can't trust anyone in this game at this point in time. Tucker is again threatening to throw the AIBB arena game to Angela. As much as he and her have beef, he still wants to. I feel it's on principle. I feel like he feels like she betrayed him so much, so he's going to go out of his way to prove to her why it was such a mistake on her part. And part of that is throwing the AIBB comp to her so that it'll be him and Mackenzie on the block. Angela will be safe. Tucker versus Mackenzie. I'm not sure which direction that vote would go. We got another 48 hours or so to figure that out. All right, Tucker is saying that he begged T-Core to put Leah up instead of Angela, and she wouldn't do it. He thinks Leah is probably the AI instigator. Everyone's blaming Angela. I wonder if that's part of it. Angela, she had to do her punishment. She's probably sore, cranky, no sleep. She's hearing all these people suggesting that she's the AI instigator, sending out all these messages. All of that just overwhelmed her and caused some of what happened. But now Tucker's saying, yeah, Angela is not the AI instigator. It's Leah. I think it's the instigator instead. Quinn is saying that Tucker will have the votes to stay, saying, oh, look, even if you make it on, even if you throw AIBB Arena to Angela, Tucker, you're still going to be fine against Mackenzie. You'll have the votes to stay. And Tucker's saying, I don't want to stay. You don't get it. I do not want to stay in this house. I want to go home. That's why I'm going to throw the competition. We'll see if that's still the case here in a couple of days. All right, we've got Tucker consoling T-Core. He went up to her. Remember, he's upset with her, but he went up to her because she is even more upset at herself, at him. I'm more at herself, I think. T-Core is feeling like she screwed things up by not listening to Tucker. She's crying. Tucker gives her a really long hug. He's telling her that he respects her for standing her ground, doing what she thinks was best for her game, that he wants her or Chemo or to Rabina to win this thing, that they're good. He understands. Yes, he wanted one thing. She wanted something different, but he understands why she did it. They're good with each other. So Tucker going out of his way to try to cheer T-Core up. T-Core really feeling down. You're the HOH. You can't have regrets about what you did in this game or it'll just eat you alive. You got to always be looking forward and looking at the next move. And if you start playing the coulda, shoulda, woulda, or the what if games, it'll absorb you and you won't have time to be adaptable for things coming up. Don't be looking in your rearview mirror. You got to be looking forward when you're playing a game with Big Brother. T-Core needs to the move was made. She can't change it. Move forward with it. It hadn't happened just yet. And Tucker's trying to make her feel a little bit better about the way things went down. Meanwhile, we've got Mackenzie telling Chelsea that Tucker's going to be gunning for T-Core because he's upset that she didn't put up Leah. Well, based on this other conversation between T-Core and Tucker, I don't think that's going to happen. They actually seems like they're mending bridges, so to speak. All right, we've got Mackenzie later telling T-Core that Tucker can beat anyone at comps and she can't. Mackenzie realizes that all this stuff has gone down. There's still someone getting voted out Thursday night. And it very well could be Mackenzie. So she's continuing her campaigning by saying, hey, Tucker is a lot more of a threat than I am. So please keep that in mind, T-Core. Now, T-Core can't vote, but she certainly has influence over other people. All right, MJ later talking about talking about some blind spots. MJ's later talking, say, hey, what about that girls' night we were gonna have, Chelsea? T-Core wanted to have girls' night. Should we do that tonight? And Chelsea said, yeah, maybe not be the best night for that. We'll do it tomorrow night instead. Not sure this is going to be the best night, Mackenzie. All right, we've got Angela calling Tucker a liar. This again, they still haven't really forgiven each other. She's saying, look, Tucker, you're a liar. You lied to me because you did not tell me that Quinn came to you and told you about my plan to get you out. And he's saying, well, I told you that MJ came to me, and she did. They both came to me. I just didn't mention Quinn. But Mackenzie came to me as well. And she said, no, you left out information. You lied to me. He said, I left out information. That's not lying. That's just leaving out information. But I didn't lie. What I told you was true. It's a little semantics there going on. But Tucker saying, look, we can't keep talking because you're just going to get upset. Angela's saying, Tucker, you just like to call people out. That's the way you play the game. I don't like it. So again, there's still a little friction between these two. Tucker saying, look, he said, I was fighting for you the whole time. You hurt my feelings. You broke my heart doing what you did. And I think he's sincere when he says that. He's saying that he's saying that she wanted to finish in the top 3. He is going to do that. He was going to take her to the final 3. And then beyond that, who knows what happens, but she'll find all this out later. Angela is saying that she is upset with him, or she's no longer upset with him. She understands she's no longer upset. And Tucker says, well, I'm still a little upset with you. And they walk away, and that's the end of it. All right, we've got Leah and Joseph and Angela talking. Leah and Joseph trying to kind of calm down, cheer up Angela, saying, look, we understand what you did. You did what you felt like you had to do. You knew you were at the bottom, and just trying to make her just chill a little bit. Angela saying that she is so happy that she has met someone like Tucker. She hopes she gets a chance for another quick conversation with him so she can tell him that and tell him that she understands it's just a game and it doesn't affect the way she feels about him personally and all of that. She's saying that she's really sad that Tucker is so upset, but she says, but I'm upset too. And that's important to remember also. But she says she's going to be happy because certain people, she's talking about Leah, she is happy that certain people avoided the block because of this blow up and the things way things went down. She says she's going to fight now. She just has to fight to get herself off the block. See, that's what Angela's doing that T-Core's not. She's screwed up. Maybe not. I kind of think she did, but she did what she did. Now she's just going to have to fight Thursday, get herself off the block and move on with life and move on with some more damage control. This isn't Angela's first rodeo in terms of damage control, right? All right, so she's saying I'm just gonna have to win on Thursday, and that's all there is to it. And I will stay in this game, and I'll continue to do what I need to do. All right, we've got Rubina and Chemo talking. Rubina is saying that Joseph still wants to work with the Alliance, the 6th Avenue, but they're both saying, is there still an alliance? It's kind of blown up, right? Well, there is talk that maybe if Angela goes, it could be the 5th Avenue, and then there's some talk about maybe they could bring in Quinn as well. Still don't know exactly how Joseph comes into play with all of this, but yeah, Rubina and Chemo still talking a little bit about the future of relationships, even if they're an official alliance. Obviously, the Rubina and Chemo and T-Core will be working closely together, along with Quinn also. All right, and then we get lots of Tucker and Rubina out in the hammock in the backyard. Tucker saying this has never been about money. He isn't acting the way he does for money, that it isn't acting, that he truly feels about her so strongly. She's the most important thing in the house. He's saying, I came in to break the curse of the first person in. I came in to play the game hard, but I met you and it's all about you. At one point he says, hey, if me being in the house is bad for your game, I'll leave. I would rather you play the game and win, and I will leave before I jeopardize your game at this point. So he's trying to convince her that his feelings are sincere. Rubina just can't let go of the paranoia, though. She's talking about that someone told her that Tucker was just playing her. She says, someone said, that you would be the death of me. And Tucker said, well, who said that? She said, I just don't want to say right now. It doesn't really matter. Maybe later or something. But she said, just people have gotten in my head a little bit, and I just don't know if I can trust you. Is what we have real, or are you just playing me as part of the game? He's trying everything he can to convince her otherwise, but she's just not there yet. All right, Quinn later explaining to Angela why he told Tucker about Angela's plan to get Tucker out. And Angela saying, no, I get it. I'm good with it. I'm sorry that I yelled at you. I'm sorry that I put you in a bad position again. And Quinn's like, yeah, we're all good. Yeah, it's part of the game. Happy-go-lucky Quinn. Not really feeling as bad about it as Angela is, but she's apologizing to Quinn at this point. All right, we've got Chemo and T-Core and Rubina talking. All of them are saying that it would really be screwed up to make accusations about Tucker playing Rubina, playing on her emotions if it wasn't true. I kind of feel differently. It's not all about winning competitions in this game. A lot of this is emotional manipulation. It's part of the game. If someone thinks, if there's a showman's out there, if there's a tight connection and you feel like you can drive a wedge into that connection, that's part of it. You should do what you need to do to move forward in the game itself. So yeah, I understand. No one wants to see someone hurt. No one wants to see Rubina crying and feeling as horrible as she does. But at the same time, everyone's in there playing that game to be the last one standing, and playing on people's emotions is part of the game of Big Brother. So a little disagreement with them on that, but they're all saying, yeah, for someone to do that to Rubina is just be pretty horrible. Rubina is talking about Tucker. She's saying, he takes acting classes. He knows how to psychologically screw with someone. And I'm just supposed to ignore that and pretend like I don't know that. I just can't do that. And so she says, as a result, I started spiraling a little bit because I know that side of Tucker. And she's saying, but Tucker saying such nice things about me out there. It seems so genuine what he was saying. Well, what do we know about Rubina? Whether she's talking to Tucker or Angela or Brooklyn and Chelsea, Rubina wants to assume the best about people. She wants to be trusting of people, which is probably a good trait to have in the real world. Big Brother house a little tough to work with. She tends to believe the last person that was talking to her, I think, in a lot of ways. And we're seeing some of that here as well. All right, we had Quinn pranking Tucker. Tucker was asleep. Quinn said, "Hey, Tucker, AI assistant. What was the first book that Charles Dickinson wrote?" And Tucker jumps out and he goes and gets the answer, announces it. Big Brother says that is correct. And they're all laughing that Quinn started it up and Tucker had to do the work and all that. So it's kind of fun. People just having a little fun there for a minute. All right, we've got Leah and Joseph talking. Leah's grateful that things have worked to keep her off the block. She says, kind of out of my hands. It wasn't necessarily me, but I'm glad I'm not on the block. But she's saying, I have to figure out my game. I came in there to win just like everyone else. She said, I'm as smart as everyone else. I'm as strategic as everyone else. I didn't come in here to be number 5, 6, or 7 in Alliance. I got to figure out what I need to do going forward. She's telling this to Joseph. Joseph is saying he feels bad about some of the stuff he did. I think maybe for pushing to get Leah renominated. And maybe Angela exposed that as part of her calling people out. Leah saying, "No, I still trust you, Joseph. I still got your back. I think you've got mine. We're good. Don't worry about it." They both threw each other under the bus a little bit for some survival purposes. All right, Chelsea is telling Rubina that she now thinks that Quinn was the AI instigator, not Angela anymore. Now she thinks it was probably Quinn that was the AI instigator. Chemo is talking about Angela, why she did what she did. He says, I think paranoia just got the better of Angela, along with maybe a bird chirping in her ear a little bit that got her kind of worked up. And that's how it all just spiraled out of control. All right, we got Joseph and Chelsea talking, both wishing out in the backyard playing pool with each other, both wishing that they could just go back to regular Big Brother where you only have 2 people on the block every week instead of 3. Tucker's saying, it's too hard with 3 people. We've got all these scenarios about who would you vote for and this and that. And there's too many people that I like that keep getting thrown up on the block. And we're just ready for 2-person Big Brother nominations the way it's normally been. I think that's going to be happening sooner rather than later, Joseph. Both of them thinking that neither Angela or Mackenzie will come after the 2 of them. So it doesn't really matter so much which one of them survives. And they're both saying, hey, maybe we'll just leave it up to T-Core to decide who goes home this week. Well, T-Core is certainly going to appreciate that decision that she has to make, right? Yeah, she won't like that at all. All right, we had feeds cut out for a little while for another instigator message. Not sure what it was. We don't necessarily hear a lot of the conversations about what all is being said, but there for a little while they had another message. Leah later was talking about saying that she thinks everything that's being said could actually be true, that she's still convinced that Ansley at the very start said, I'll listen to everything. And she thinks that it's just production, releasing information that different people have said, as opposed to someone getting power and choosing to spread misinformation. All right, we've got T-Core and Joseph talking. T-Core is explaining everything that happened while Joseph was in solitary. Angela, basically as a summary, Angela told a group to go after Tucker. Tucker found out, and he and Angela had it out after that. The Angela part of 6th Avenue died, so now T-Core decided that if Angela wasn't part of the alliance, she could put up Angela over Leah. Says that she didn't want Joseph or Quinn to have to pick between Tucker or Leah, and that's why she didn't put Leah up. Joseph is saying that he thinks it might still be better to keep Angela versus Mackenzie, I assume. T-Core is saying that even with all the stuff that went down, Tucker still wanted Leah put up instead of Angela and got upset with T-Core when she didn't do that, when she put up Leah instead. Joseph is saying, hey, it's your HOH, T-Core. You get to decide at the end of the day. And then finally, Joseph saying that he would have talked Angela out of doing that. If he hadn't been in solitary, he would have stopped Angela from coming up with this idea and blowing up her game. There's the summary for you, my friends. All right, Angela and Chemo talking. Angela saying that paranoia got to her and she just made a very bad move. She's realizing that was not the best way to approach the problem. Tucker comes out to say goodnight to them. Angela's apologizing to Tucker again. Tucker's telling Angela, saying, I still have your back. I'm still thinking about throwing the AI competition to you. And Angela saying, don't you dare. Again, I think Tucker's just trying to make her feel a little bit worse when he offers that. She is telling him, don't you dare. What if this is all just a masterful acting job by Angela? That she's not really upset, that all of this is planned as a way to just drag Tucker down and get him morose and all of that. If we see Angela suddenly go in a diary and go, it's working exactly the way I planned, we'll have a new mastermind in the game of Big Brother. I don't think that's the case. I kind of hope it is. I don't think it is, though. All right, we've got Chemo and Rubina. We're almost there, guys. Chemo and Rubina talking. Rubina's still talking about how she was worried she was being played. saying it wasn't as much about being embarrassed on national TV as much as her heart just not being able to take that kind of situation. Chemo is kind of lamenting with her and all that, but Chemo's also talking a little bit about the instigator. Chemo thinks the instigator is Cam. I don't know why Chemo would think that we as the American viewing public would give Cam the ultimate power this week, considering that Cam's been kind of a side piece, not a main character in anything of the drama that's happened so far. But Chemo thinking instigator is Cam. All right, Quinn talking to the cameras towards the end of the evening, saying that he feels like he's going to win HOH next week, and he'll still have the chance to stab Tucker in the back, which would be such a big move. People always plotting, conspiring. It never ends in the Big Brother house. All right, we've got Joseph and Quinn and Rubina and T-Core. Who did I miss? I think that's the Chemo as well in the backyard, just chatting, goofing around, talking a little game, but mainly just kind of goofing around with each other. At one point, Tucker comes out for a little while. He immediately gets called to do an information deal, so everyone runs upstairs into the HOH room to kind of support Tucker while he does it. Once he gets done, Rubina's outside. Tucker and Rubina give each other a huge kiss, a huge hug, maybe displaying a few hand signs to the people inside watching on the HOH monitor. They're all cheering. Quinn's going crazy. Everyone's going crazy that they got to see this big dramatic kiss. They do it a couple times because Tucker keeps getting called back to do more information requests, but they're all hugging and kissing and everything else. And just generally everyone getting along at this point in time. Based on that, I think this is a one-time deal. I think by tomorrow, people more or less will be over all of this. I think Tucker's not going to be wanting to go home and throw it and all of that. I think he's going to, with some decent night's sleep, what's that in the house? But I think once they sleep on it, it seems like everyone is feeling much more cheerful by the end of the evening and much more getting along with each other. And I hope that continues. But eventually Tucker calls it a night, goes into the bedroom to sleep. We've got lots of chatting in the HOH room with everyone else remaining up there. They go outside for a second, do a little twerking. They're getting their laundry done. They may lose the house this morning, so trying to do all their laundry, folding their laundry and everything. Finally, everyone in bed by 5 o'clock or so. Yeah, there was a little more game talk throughout, talking about that. Quinn saying, Angela just got through saying all these horrible things about me. I can't really trust her going forward, and talk about her blowing up the game and some talk about Brooke. Just a lot of bits and pieces, but not anything too important. So with that, everyone in bed by 5 o'clock. It made for a long evening, an incredible 24 hours. But again, I think they start a new day fresh. We'll see what happens between now and Thursday, but I think it's going to kind of blow over at this point. All right, guys, that's it. In summary, Angela and Tucker have a big blowout. Angela's on the block. She suddenly made herself a much bigger target than she could have. Who wins based on yesterday? Mackenzie and Leah certainly doing a lot better. Angela, not so much. And a lot of tears from a whole lot of people. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Tuesday. Until tomorrow morning, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends.